Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at upcoming severe weather and especially winter storms. So without further ado, let's get started. Also, I'm sorry for not posting yesterday, but I will probably be posting 2 videos today. Anyway, to get started, let's look at the GFS model. And for now we see nothing, but in around 3 days time, we do see, oh my gosh, this is going crazy. Around 3 days time, we do see a line of storms starting here, which we could see some severe weather around Texas, and in a lot of the southeast we could be seeing some heavy rain. But past that, what we could be seeing is some snow and freezing rain on the north end of it for northern Illinois, southern Michigan, and a lot of New York, and potentially some of Pennsylvania. Freezing rain could be a risk there due to ice potential. And then moving on, we do see some more snow moving on. So, maybe you can have a snow day, some nice snow to play with. And then through Wisconsin, Michigan, place like that, we do see some snow passing through there into New York. And then later on, we do see potentially another system for the southeast there, but that is very far. I would not count on that at all. That we're not going to be focusing on that for this video. But for the wind gusts, what we can be seeing is, along with that heavy rain, we could be seeing some hefty wind gusts along with this. Oops. Oops, sorry about that, guys. But we could be seeing some hefty wind gusts with that first system. We already see a lot of wind gusts up here around 40 miles an hour potentially. But here, along with that line of heavy rain, we could be seeing around 40, 30 mile per hour wind gusts along, and high wind gusts into the 30s with severe weather there. And as that moves out, we might see some around 20, 30 mile per hour gusts on that northern end where the snow is. In terms of winter, severe weather, let's get that out of the way real quick so we can focus on that winter weather, which I know most of y'all are excited about. Surface-based CAPE, we do see up to around we do see around up to 1,000 kilojoules, up to 1,000 kilojoules there, 500, 750 here. And what that could mean is some favorable and marginally favorable environment for some severe weather. We could be seeing some tornadoes, stuff like that. So it's definitely something to focus on. Past that, not a lot of severe weather because due to little CAPE. We do see something there just now, but I doubt that will happen. And finally, obviously, we're going to be looking at total snowfall, which we could be seeing a lot of it. So looking here on this, after all these systems in the northeast, this is after the 2 systems, we could be seeing a lot of snowfall from Minnesota all the way into New England. So what we're seeing here is over 3 inches for most of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan. So widespread accumulations of this dark blue here, you see that is 3 to 6 inches. And then even into New York and Pennsylvania, we could be seeing well over a foot, 2 feet in some places. Now, this is very high areas and very likely to change. It's a very high amount, so I would not count on that at all. But in terms of total ice through sorry about that again. Through all these systems, we could be seeing up to over half an inch of ice, which would be very dangerous, and to drive on would be very bad, so that could trigger ice storm warnings. And in terms of freezing rain accumulations, up to well over half an inch as well, very worrying. And then it's just something to look at. This is very far out, probably won't happen. But through the Appalachians, we see another ice storm, which is very interesting to look at. So, and then we're going to switch models here. So here we go. Let's go back to this. and we are going to go to the ECMWF. We're going to go to, oops, wrong one. We're going to go to the ECMWF, and we're going to go to 0Z because it goes all the way out. So we do see here a system, the system over Texas, which could bring some severe weather. Let's see here. Around here, tornado potential. And then past that, probably not as much severe weather, but just some heavy rain all the way through Florida. We're getting into that time of year where it gets very humid. We're going to have, I mean, obviously still cold, probably still not till March, late February, but we're going to be seeing severe weather in the southeast and Dixie Alley at the time of year before it shifts to the plains and northern plains. But even throughout the whole southeast, this time of year, we get humidity. We just get pop-ups, thunderstorms, strong thunderstorms. So it's just a lot of rain. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that. And up in the northeast, we see a lot of snow and mix. So that's going to be interesting to look at. And past that, we do see more rain, but also, interestingly, some snow in the Midwest into New England and Mid-Atlantic, and then some storms after that. So very interesting there. We're going to look at the severe weather potential there real quick. So mixed layer cape here. Sorry, I had to look at that. But here we see over more than the GFS shows, over 1,000 kilojoules, so higher tornado and other severe weather potential there. And past that, the GFS and ECMWF are showing some severe potential for the Dixie Alley area from Louisiana into the Florida Panhandle. I don't know anything about that yet. Unsure about that, but I will be keeping an eye on it if it continues to go in models, even though it is far out. In terms of winter weather, let's load real quick. So those first few systems, the ECMWF does show more snow, but it shows them more isolated to the north. Through northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, through Michigan, we're going to be seeing widespread amounts of 4 to 8 inches, maybe even pockets of over 12 inches. And then in New York, we could be seeing over 2 feet in the upper areas, according to the ECMWF model. And in terms of snow depths, we're already going to have snow on the ground, so that's just going to add more. We see here, we're already going to have snow on the ground. So if this shows up to 25 inches of snow on the ground at a time, which is crazy, but I really doubt it's going to happen. But as we're getting to this time of year, snow's not going to stick as much. So in terms of freezing rain, and I'm just going to use the freezing rain parameter because it's the ice and it's the same thing because freezing rain creates ice. The ECMWF doesn't really show any. I hate when it does that. It keeps doing it. Sorry, guys. Anyway, moving on. The ECMWF doesn't really show any ice. I mean, it's just absent. We see just little pockets of maybe up to very little amounts of up to like 0.05 of an inch, but really nothing much. But past that, like the GFS was showing a system, the ECMWF does show a big system. Let's see here. Of up to over half an inch, maybe 1 inch of freezing rain near the Great Lakes into Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Rhode Island, etc. So very far out, but the fact that GFS and ECMWF are picking on it and been somewhat consistent, you got to watch it. It's like with hurricanes. They start very far out, but when they keep showing and runs, you have to watch it. And so you never know. And finally, we are going to look at the GDPS, which is ECMWF, and then we're gonna check out this GraphCast GFS because I'm just seeing that now, and I think it'd be nice to have a new model to look at. EPS Weeklies, that goes way too far out. Anyway, moving on. So we see here Canadian model. It's pretty same story. Severe weather over Texas, heavy rain into the southeast. Some snow farther south, still into southern Illinois, central Illinois, and some freezing rain and mixed air for Ohio, Indiana, and the snow goes into Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, and then past that we have a more widespread snow for a lot of the Midwest, sorry. So definitely interesting there. In terms of surface-based cape for the severe weather, the severe weather is more isolated, as we can see. More isolated in Texas. I don't really know how significant severe weather is going to be. Again, it's obviously not going to be some massive tornado event, but even with smaller, it doesn't take a EF2 to EF5 tornado to be bad. And even then, just because there's a low cape doesn't mean you can have more significant severe weather. It just means it's not going to be as widespread, like over this, like a massive outbreak, like over the entire southern plains and southeast. But we do see some heavier cape, which, again, it doesn't exactly mean that there's more significant severe weather. You can have significant severe weather well below 1,000 cape. It's just that it's just the overall chance of severe weather, not exactly how significant it's going to be. It's just how strong those thunderstorms are going to get. And so severe weather overall is confined to southern Texas, southern Canadian model. And then past that, it does not go out far enough to show anything about that system that the GFS and ECMWF are picking on. The total snowfall we see here fully out, that like the GFS, we're going more south. In fact, more widespread in the northern plains, less widespread in the northeast. We could have well over 6 inches in the Dakotas into northern Wisconsin and Michigan. And in New York, again, picking up on over 2 feet of snow in the higher areas. But widespread 8 to 12 inches in northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, New York, into the northeast. So really, we're going to be watching this whole area, and especially more populated areas here in the northeast and Midwest for heavy snow. And in terms of freezing rain, again, the Canadian model is showing even some freezing rain for Texas, like very north Texas, but mainly Oklahoma and Kansas. And then, of course, Indiana, Ohio, into Pennsylvania, New York, and the Northeast, showing a lot of freezing rain and ice, very dangerous, over 1/4 of an inch in a lot of areas. Even here, over 1/2 an inch, and it only takes, I think it only takes like 1/4 of an inch to trigger ice storm warning, so that's going to be very bad. Anyway, here, let's look at the severe weather real quick. Probabilistic, again, just because there's not a hatched area doesn't mean there's not going to be severe weather. Hatched area is 10% or greater probability of significant severe weather. You can have hatched areas and slight risks. It just depends on the amount of cape. Just because there's a lower chance of significant severe weather does not mean there isn't going to be significant severe weather. That's always a chance. And also, you don't need significant severe weather for it to be bad, obviously. I mean, especially for tornadoes and such, and other forms of severe weather. But yeah, so mainly for Texas, mainly in this slight risk area, and obviously this larger marginal risk is going to be pretty bad. So locally damaging wind gusts and perhaps a tornado or two, that's going to be the main threats. And then day 4, obviously same thing, but it goes more East Texas. And as we see here, thunderstorms will be possible, and there might be a marginal threat in the central Gulf Coast, like right here. Probably more like right here, but nothing major. And then past that, low chance of thunderstorms. So we're not really getting into severe weather yet. So tornadoes, the tornado season forecast don't get as much views, so I might wait off because I want to give y'all what y'all actually want to see. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave any comments you have. And yeah, we're going to keep looking. I'm going to keep looking at all this snow, but keep updated. And yeah, bye guys.